Hi, and welcome to your Yoga for Digestion practice. My name's Emily, and I'll be guiding you through today. So, today's practice is going to focus more on twisting. Twisting is very good for our internal organs and can help with, you know, bloating if you're a little backed up. Maybe you just feel a little off from overindulging the night before. So this will be great for that. You will need a block or thicker books, and a blanket would be great to have close by. Um, nothing special, just a thicker blanket. So just keep those close, and I'll let you know when we need to grab them. So finding a nice comfortable seated position. You don't have to have your feet as close to your body as I do. You can just sit crisscross, pull your feet out a little farther. Just main thing here, we want to find something nice and comfortable, however that looks for you. So making sure both of your sits bones that are at the base of your pelvis are on the floor. Your spine is nice and long. Shoulders are rolled down and on your back. Neck is long. Chin is slightly tucked. And we're imagining we have a string, and that's pulling up on the top of our head. So just really making that spine nice and long here. We'll begin just by breathing evenly for 4 counts and exhaling for 4 counts. Just focusing on counting in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and out for 1, 2, 3, 4. And just coming to a bit more of a center here mentally. If you've been distracted or have a lot in your mind, just try to come back to this moment. Just focusing on your breath. And we'll be using this pattern of in for 4, out for 4 throughout class. So if you hear me say, get back to your breathing, focus on your breathing, this is what I want you to remember. All right, so we'll get started with our movement portion. Coming into all fours, we'll have our hands beneath our shoulder, our knees beneath our hips, dropping the belly down, lifting the chest for cat. Exhaling, pushing into child's pose. Inhaling, coming into cat. And exhaling to child's pose. Do this a few more times. Inhaling for cat. And exhaling for child's. And coming back into tabletop, we'll take our left arm, reaching it up to the sky, opening up that chest, and we'll bring that hand back underneath our body. Hips stay up, right arm stretches forward, forehead can go directly on the mat. And to press up, bring your right hand back under your shoulder, pressing up into tabletop. Other side, reaching the right arm up, opening that side body and tucking the right arm down, reaching the left arm forward. And coming out, pulling that left arm back, pressing up to all fours. We'll do it one more time on each side, opening up to the left and sliding the arm down. Getting a good stretch in that left shoulder as well as the right. Inhaling back up. Right arm up. Coming through. And pressing up. Back to tabletop from here. We're going to lower onto our bellies. So keeping the elbows close to you, just lower all the way down. Put our arms out to our sides. Forehead will go on the mat. Inhale, lifting the shoulders, lifting the legs slightly, turning to look to the left. Exhaling down. This time lifting, looking to the right. Down. You'll do this a few more times, just warming up the back. And you don't have to lift very high. We're still warming up the body here. If you want to, you can just do the feet. Just lifting the feet. Or just lifting the upper body. In here, hands go back under your shoulders, pressing up. We are going to come into a forward bend. So keeping the knees nice and bent right here, just a very gentle forward bend. We can drop the hands, bringing them to the elbows. Release the neck, give it a nice gentle shake, nodding yes, no. Bring our hands to our shins, press up into a flat back. You can leave the knees bent here, or you can start to straighten them out. And we'll exhale, coming back to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhaling, lift. And exhale, fold. And we're going to slowly rise all the way up to standing. So rolling up, bending the knees slightly, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Rolling the shoulders back. And then finally the head. Standing series in Warrior 1. Left leg will be in front, toes pointing directly in front to the front of the wall. Our right leg will be back at a 45-degree angle. Our hips here naturally want to turn to the side, but we want to keep them square towards the front of the room. So I like to pretend I have little headlights on each of my hip bones, and they need to be shining forward the whole time. Left knee is going to bend, coming right over our ankle. If you look down, you should be able to see your toes. So if you can't, back off a little bit. That'll help with alignment. If you find you keep turning, pull that right foot in a little bit. That'll help. Arms come up. Shoulders are pressing down into your back. Belly button is pulling into your spine. Weight is distributed between your feet. Should be pressing into the outer edge of your right foot. We'll take a big inhale here. On our exhale, we'll straighten the front leg, bringing the arms back down. And inhale and bend, straightening the arms up. We'll move through here. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. One more time. Good. Grabbing this block, you'll turn your right foot so the toes are pointing directly at the wall, just like your left foot. Grabbing the block, we're going to put it inside of your left foot for now. Hands go on our hips. We're going to bend forward, but I want us to bend from our hips and low back first, not just toppling over with our upper body. So inhaling, exhale, bending from the hips. I'm bringing your hand, you can rest it on the block here if you need a bit more support. Exhaling as far down as you can go. Releasing the neck. Toes are both pointing towards the front wall. Big inhale. Exhale. Release a little bit more. Nice stretch in your left hamstring. And taking the block, if it's not already, to the inside of your left foot. We'll put our left hand on the block, bringing our right hand to our hip, opening up to the side and lifting the right arm up and turning to look up at your hand, or you can always look down at the floor, keeping the belly button pulling into the spine here, breathing evenly. We want to hold our breath when we get into these a little more challenging poses, but breathing is what's going to help us. And you might not need that block, and you can play around with your comfort level. One more big inhale. Exhale, dropping the right arm down. And we're going to step our feet together. Coming into forward fold once more. You can keep a slight bend in the knees if that's what's comfortable for you. Probably feel a little bit more open on the left side. And we'll rise up slowly. And we'll get set up for the other side. So we'll take our block. Move it where it's close. Right leg forward. Left foot back. Left toes will be at the 45-degree angle this time. Hips are once again square, pointing to the front wall. bending the front knee. When you do, check again, making sure your hips are square, adjusting as needed, lifting your arms up, pressing your shoulders down and into your back. We evenly distributed with your feet, pressing into the outside edge of your left foot. Belly button is pulling into the spine. Feeling grounded through your legs here. We'll begin our dynamic movement, inhaling for 4. On the exhale, straighten, dropping the arms. Inhaling, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Straighten. Inhaling, bend. Exhale, straighten. One more time here. Good. Making sure that our block is within reach, just moving it to the inside of your right leg. We'll turn our back toes forward, maybe bringing our legs a little closer together. Hands on our hips, taking a big inhale and bending from our hips and our low back first. Pulling belly button into spine, protecting the low back here by not just toppling over. Coming into a forward bend over our right leg. The block's here if you need it. Just coming down to feel a nice stretch in your right hamstring, not overdoing it. Just listening to your body. On your inhale, you can lighten up a little bit, and the exhale, really pull in. So working with the breath to get a little more flexibility. And moving the block to the inside of your right foot if it's not already there. We'll bring our right hand to the block or inside of your right foot, turning the body, opening it up, reaching the left hand. Belly button is still into spine. Breathing evenly. Again, you can always play around and see what's more comfortable for you. Still pressing in with those feet. And dropping the left arm down. And this time, bringing the feet together. Folding over the legs. Hopefully feel a bit more open in your hamstrings. A little more evened out. And then slowly rising up. You can keep a slight bend of the knees. We'll grab our block. And facing the long side of your mat, we'll take the block and put it out in the center, in between us. Our feet are going to be a bit wider than our hips. Hands on our hips. We'll take a big inhale. Exhale, moving from the hips, lowering down, just about halfway. pulling belly button into spine, and going ahead and dropping the hands, just coming down as far as you comfortably can. Maybe you need the block, maybe you don't. Making sure you're not shifting into one hip, but we're center. I'm going to bring the left hand to the block. Height is just what you're comfortable with. Bringing our right hand to our low back, opening up the chest, twisting, reaching the right arm up. We can look at our thumb or back down at the ground. Breathing evenly. Next exhale, you'll drop the arm down, switching sides. Right hand is on the block. Left hand goes to low back. We'll inhale, turning to the left side, reaching the left arm up. Pressing firmly through the feet. Next exhale, dropping the arm down. Doing one stretch here. Just through the center. So wide forward fold. Shaking out the neck. Yes. No. And hands come to our hips and we'll rise up slowly. From here, walk your feet back to center. Grab your blanket. So sitting on the floor, we'll have our blanket. Go ahead and put it right underneath our sit bones. So you're about half on, half off. Legs are gonna come straight out in front of you. Arms reaching up, overhead. And bending forward, once more moving from our hips and our low back. And just coming where you can, keeping your back straight. So right now, we're not just gonna topple over. That's not what we want. We want to keep the back nice and straight. Breathing into it, getting a nice stretch in our hamstrings. And then walking our hands up. Removing the blanket. And staff pose, pressing our palms firmly into the mat. Just re-lengthening the spine here. Sitting up nice and tall. And we'll bend the knees, our feet are flat on the floor. Make sure your blanket is out of the way. Coming down to lie on our backs. Feet flat on the floor. We're going to take a big inhale here and push our hips up for bridge, but also bring our arms up and overhead. And exhale, arms and hips come down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Okay. And we'll take both of our knees and drop them towards the left side. Arms can be in a goalpost or straight out in a T, just depending on the amount of space you have. Neck is going to look over to the right side. If you're having any issues, you can always take the blanket and kind of prop it up underneath to give you a little bit more support. Next, inhale, bringing the knees back to center. Exhale, dropping them to the right side, looking to the left. And inhaling, bringing the knees back to center. Hugging your knees into your chest. Making small circles here, rocking side to side. Do one more twist here, hugging the left knee into your chest, extending the right foot down. Get a nice little stretch in your right hip flexor. This pose is also really good to massage your intestines. We're going to bring our leg across our body. Just pulling that right knee close to the ground as you can, looking over to the left side. And inhaling back up, hugging both knees in one more time. Hugging the right knee in this time, extending the left foot straight. Giving your leg a little hug here, feeling a gentle stretch in your left hip flexor. And crossing the leg over the body, you'll have your left hand on top of your right knee, and then your right hand will extend to the side or goalpost, looking towards the right. Next, inhale, coming back up to center. Giving your legs a final hug, gently rocking. And I'd encourage you to stay in Savasana pose for a few moments. You can go ahead and roll up your blanket, putting it underneath your knees just for a little more support on your low back. Palms facing up. Just breathing here for several minutes.